Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about the 7 signs of depression you may not know. But before we get into that, as part of the Better Internet Initiative supported by the Fellow Americans Education Fund, I just wanted to remind you that in the US, we have an election coming up, and it is important that all of our voices are heard. So take some time today and make sure that you are registered to vote. Just takes a few seconds. And if you're not yet registered, do it now. Oh, and if you plan to vote by mail, request your ballot today. You can check out the rules and deadlines for your state, make sure that you are good to go, and finally pop your plan to vote into your schedule so that you don't forget to do it in time. Okay, now let's get into today's topic. Depression is something that we've all heard about, but remember that depression is not just having a bad day or feeling sad for a bit, or as a result of us not having something go our way. Depression is much more than that. And for many who are suffering, it can feel like the symptoms come out of nowhere, and they last longer than a day or a passing shift in our mood. If you don't find interest in the things that you used to, or have had a depressed mood for at least 2 weeks, or any thoughts of suicide, please reach out to a mental health professional in your area. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but it can get better. Now, the first symptom of depression that I want to talk about is irritability. Yes, depression isn't only a sad rain cloud or someone feeling tired all the time. Depression can also be us getting really annoyed with everyone around us. We can be quick to anger and end up lashing out at people in our lives. All of the frustration we may feel over our lack of motivation and energy, or the embarrassment that we could feel because the stigma associated with mental illness still exists, or even our annoyance with the struggle to get proper care. There's so much to be upset about. And with depression, we can hold it in at first. But it doesn't take long before we just erupt with all the upset that we've been feeling inside. We can end up saying things that we don't mean and hurt those closest to us. I've talked a lot about how depression is anger in. But that doesn't mean that that anger stays in. We can feel completely filled up by it, and then it has nowhere to go but out. The next symptom I want to address is our inability to take care of ourselves. I know that one maybe isn't as unknown as the first, but it's important. I know people make jokes or make light of people not washing their hair or showering all the time, and while I can agree that maybe not washing our hair every day is better for it, I cannot agree with not washing our bodies or changing our clothes regularly. When we are depressed, this can happen. I've had many patients and viewers tell me just how hard it can be to keep up with those things. Not to mention regularly feeding ourselves balanced meals, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep. I know these may sound like simple things, but just know that when we are suffering from depression, these can feel like huge, insurmountable tasks. I'm constantly talking about the difference between mental health and mental illness, and how that mainly relates to our ability to function in our life. And this right here is the difference. If we can't do what we need to do each day to take care of ourselves, we need to get some professional help. The third symptom is an inability to focus, concentrate, or even say what's on our mind. This symptom can lead us to being more irritable, but it can also affect our ability to do our work or keep up with school. We can read and reread things and still not know what they said. This can be so debilitating. Many of you have told me that it can also feel like the words just aren't there, and that can make talking about how we feel even more difficult. It's like we're feeling and thinking so much, but when someone asks us how we are or how they can help, we can't even tell them what we need. This can make us feel even more hopeless and helpless. If you find yourself going through this, please try to journal, or at least bullet point what's going on. That way, you have something that you can show someone who wants to help and ensure that your point and thoughts are getting across. The fourth symptom, and one that you may have heard before, I'm not sure, is body aches. The number of my patients that have been referred from their regular doctor is amazing. It's incredibly common for us to feel achy and have what we call psychosomatic symptoms, meaning that our mental illness is showing itself in a physical way, like body aches. Many of my patients will go in to see their doctor because they think they have a cold that just won't go away. They often report feeling tired, achy and just not well. But after a few tests, the doctor will ask them about their mood, changes in sleep or appetite. And if it sounds more like depression, they'll usually offer them an antidepressant and then send them my way. And just for the record, I don't think regular physicians should prescribe psychotropic medication, meaning medications for mental illnesses. We really should see a specialist like a psychiatrist for that, but that's just my 2 cents. The 5th symptom, and something we've been talking about more and more, is shame. If you didn't know, shame is often a part of PTSD, but it can also be a part of depression, anxiety, and many other mental illnesses. And it's the belief that something is wrong with us, that we are broken in some way. And depression definitely does this because it takes away our ability to focus, robs us of our motivation, and makes it impossible to see that there is any good left in the world. With all that going on, of course we would believe that something's wrong with us, or that we aren't even able to get better. But what's really, quote unquote, wrong with us is that we have a mental illness and we need treatment for it. Just like if we had a heart condition, we would go see someone to get help with it so that we can feel better. I hear all the time that many of you feel like you aren't worth saving, or that there's no treatment that's going to work and that you're just beyond help. But I'm here to tell you that that is just shame lying to you, trying to hold you back, shut you down, and keep you feeling like shit. So push back, check your facts, and know that with the right support, we can all get better. Next up is the symptom of paranoia. Yeah, you heard me right. If our depression goes untreated, we can have psychotic symptoms as a result. And I even have an older video about this if you want to watch it and learn more about psychosis and psychotic depression. But we can have actual paranoia as a result of our untreated symptoms of depression. That's just another reason that if we're worried we are maybe depressed, we should reach out for help now and not wait any longer. We can also have paranoia that's not psychosis-based, but more along the lines of us constantly worrying that people are annoyed with us, that they're frustrated by our lack of motivation or are struggling to reply to them quickly. The 7th and final symptom I'm going to talk about is guilt. Along with our worry that we're upsetting those around us, we can feel guilty about the fact that we aren't able to help around the house or do what we said we were going to do, or even make it to work or school. We can feel guilty that how we're doing is affecting our children, and many of you have told me how much of a failure you think you are because of this. But I am here to tell you that once again, that's just a lie your mental illness is telling you. As long as we communicate what we can with our loved ones and the people who count on us, and, this is a big and, work to get the professional help we need, we will get through this. You are not a failure. You have an illness and it needs treatment. Period. We would never call someone a failure for having pneumonia, and major depressive disorder is no different. I hope that this video helped open your eyes about what depression could look and feel like for those suffering. And please feel free to add any others into the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.